So I guess we could talk about the first topic or the topic in the title. Will Naruto ever return? I think that's like a big one, right?
Yeah. The only reason why I even put that topic out there because I was reading the beginning of the manga. I just started reading it again just to like freshen up and shit like that. And Boruto, I think everybody already remembers this. Boruto says at the beginning, like the first beginning of the story was going to be about him and his dad, and then the rest of the story is going to be his. So you think that we reached that part of the story where this is just going to be all Boruto and Naruto isn't going to return
Uh,
at least anytime soon? Because then
see,
you see that time skip scene where they're older, and they said that he's going to send you the way of the seventh.
I in my opinion, I'd say Naruto would probably actually return. I think as of right now, the end goal for like Boruto and everybody else in the Hidden Leaf Village is to actually retrieve Naruto. And because this is a shonen, I think they're probably gonna achieve their mission, and Naruto's probably gonna come back. I understand where you're coming from, though. That's why I think when he does come back, it's probably gonna be clear that Boruto, probably in Kawaki at that point, will be significantly stronger than base Naruto, and even when he was still in the series, like he wasn't really that
Sorry,
prevalent. I mean,
we got some background noise.
It's probably my fan.
All right.
but yeah, even before Naruto left, he wasn't really that prevalent. We talked about it all the time how we never really got to see base Naruto actually get jiggy. So, I mean, I think he's gonna come back just because of the sheer fact that even if he does come back, he's not really gonna step on boards on Kawaki's toes. It'll be more of like a fan service to a lot of the OG Naruto fans.
The fact that you said get jiggy though, like I'm sorry, I just had to point that out. What do you think, Bello?
Sorry, what was the question again?
Naruto returning.
Will Naruto ever return? Yeah.
Okay. I think he has to return because otherwise the option is he's going to be in there forever, which seems so funny to me. He just
Just floating.
packed up. Yeah. So yeah. So yes, he's coming back. So beyond that, it's like, okay, well, how, when? So I think I'm not sure when. I do think you keep him on the shelf for a while for sure, and the how I think is definitely going to have to either come through Kawaki being convinced. So probably end of series, to where Kawaki he might win the physical battle but lose the philosophical one, and then he releases Naruto, something akin to that, or Sarada, where her Mangekyo Sharingan, her visual prowess, puts him in a genjutsu and forces him to release Lord Hokage, Lord Seventh. Okay, entirely possible, because we already know she's going to be beyond God tier. So I do think those are probably the ways that happens, unless Boruto gets some kind of shenanigans to where he can manipulate people. Probably talk no jutsu is going to be the way. And I would say later on in the series, probably Naruto comes back. And if that does happen, I think it could be pretty cool, because then we can see Naruto maybe. I'm not sure how the time not flowing thing works with someone's like mental capacities, or like chakra. Maybe that can like transcend time or something. I don't know. It's a fantasy world. So I think it could be really cool if Naruto was like cooking up something special before he got sealed, and he just never got the opportunity to use it. And then once he gets out, he's like, yeah, well, before I got sealed, when I lost Kurama, like I was training off panel. That's why like Shikamaru is so prevalently featured in the last few years, or last year or so. So when he comes out of that dimension and whatever we're facing, or if there's some kind of Shibai or whatever, Naruto got something to work with, and he can get at least a moment to where he rises to prominence, right? Like Sasuke's ghost, because he's getting packed up probably. Sasuke's ghost kind of visits him and like, Naruto, I'm happy you're back, or some shit like that. I think that could be pretty cool. But yeah, I think he's coming back. I think probably later rather than earlier. And I think it's going to be from talk no jutsu, or some kind of manipulation, either omnipotence or genjutsu. But yeah. What do you think?
I like how you think that brother in there thinking. He's in there, no conscious thoughts. He's in there drooling, bro. Ain't
Yeah,
nothing going on in that
yeah, that's
noggin.
what I was thinking.
It wasn't nothing
Maybe
going on in that
before,
noggin when he was conscious, bro. There was nothing going on in that.
maybe before he got sealed. Maybe, yeah.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I don't think he's coming back. I don't think he's gonna make a return anytime soon. If he
Okay.
does make a return, maybe like far end of the series or something like that. But honestly, think that Boruto ending is going to be a lot different than what a Naruto's ending was supposed to be, like a whole reverse, like bait and switch type thing. I don't think it's going to end off happily. I think it's going to end off in destruction. I don't think we're going to have like a Saruto or anything like that. I think it's like they're planning on this being a last series and probably like just building other things from there, branching on because
Mhm.
of how the series really went. It did well, but I don't think it did what they expected it to do as far as like how Naruto really impacted the anime community and stuff like that. So I think this is really the end. I think Kishimoto is probably a little bit tired of the manga thing and stuff like that. He's getting an old age. So I really think this is going to be the end. He also like gave them permission to clap a whole bunch of people before he even got back into the anime. That's the reason why I really don't think he's going to come back. Because Boruto was speaking like in future speaking like he was older in the beginning, like he was just reflecting on the past and stuff. So he told us everything. This is a story pretty much in Boruto's memory that he's pretty much reciting to us. And I don't think he would have gave that introduction unless Masashi Kishimoto is like going another route since he's back on board. But I don't think they would have gave us that beginning with him saying that if that's not what they were aiming towards.
I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that perspective. Honestly, I the only thing about Naruto, in my personal opinion, I think when he does come back, hypothetically, because he's such a popular character, I kind of agree with which I was saying. What Mello was saying a bit earlier, to where he could possibly have something in his back pocket. He has to kind of be relevant somehow, even though we understand it's still Boruto's like kind of story. He still has to do something. Like he can't really be just a lame duck too much. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes and no at the same time
Okay.
because I understand what you're saying, but I think like the future is just going to really focus on Boruto. It's not going to have a lot to do with Naruto. I think Naruto is going to be like a memory, something that they aim towards. But I think when they reach that goal, it's going to like the series is going to be over. Because I don't think they made it a point to say I'm gonna send you to the way of the seventh and stuff like that in a time skip. So I just don't see it happening anytime. So I'm not saying he's not going to come back, but I don't think
Yeah,
he's going to take part in the series at
yeah,
all.
and I could agree with that as well. I mean, one of the things that we always kind of talked about, I mean, we kind of even touched on this already, but Boruto without Naruto. Naruto always provided like a sense of safety, even though he wasn't as strong as a lot of the other characters. But how will Boruto now like fend for himself? Obviously, Sasuke is there, but Sasuke doesn't necessarily view him as Boruto. He just views him as his daughter's friend. But like now, like I feel like the next, I should say, 100, 200 episodes, I think those are going to be very critical for not only for us to see exactly how Boruto fends for himself, but also character development for Boruto. So I think it would kind of be advantageous for the Boruto writers to not necessarily have Naruto come back too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
I
I think he has to come back. I think he has to. The idea of just having Naruto Uzumaki in there forever, and this is just literally the end of it. That to me, like, because then it's like, okay, well, does Kawaki die? Does he continue on to be like? Does he go all the way through with what he's trying to do? Does the hero lose? Does the villain win? I don't know. I think there's a lot more pointing in the direction of Naruto coming back, at least at the end, because this way it won't overshadow any of the people. But at this point, he's not strong enough to overshadow anything. So I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. But yeah,
but that I
I get where you're
mean
coming from.
that'll bring me to like the next question though. Like because I said I don't think he's going to return. If you do see him returning, when do you guys think he will return to the series?
I'd give it in the episodes, or past to episode 200, I'd say. Past episode 200. Because I think when they originally come back, they're probably going to have to deal with the code situation. And then It's just so crazy saying code situation after we got like an even bigger plot point. So I don't know. They got some stuff to deal with. I don't necessarily see Boruto and Kawaki really having that powwow really early into the series. So I'd say past episode 200, anywhere there would probably be fine. But I don't necessarily think it's going to be early at all.
Yeah, like I said before, I think it's going to be later in the series because I think Kawaki is going to have to be the one that brings him back, either by manipulation or by his own choice. So I think that needs to be resolved later on, similar to how Sasuke was resolved later on. So I see probably end of series around that, like the final arc. Naruto can come back, and then that way we can leave the landscape for the new gen, have Naruto come back, and like I said before, if he's working on something before he got sealed, then he can maybe use that to help them with whatever they need to fight together, right? So Naruto, or rather, Kawaki and Boruto have their conflict. It gets resolved, but there's still like a major enemy, a Kibi Sanzu or a Shibai that they need to deal with now that they're a unified front. And then we bring back Naruto, whatever the case may be. Or maybe it happens a little bit before that, right? Maybe they're still in conflict, like Sasuke working with them in the war arc, still in conflict. Nothing's really resolved, but then we later on resolve it. So I think that's probably how it'll go for me. And then Naruto can maybe do something with maybe not the main antagonist or villain at the time, but maybe like some of the lieutenants or the grunts, or he'll make a big move or do something. I think that could be cool.
We can't have Naruto playing the Konohama role, bro. Nah.
I mean,
it got to be one of the main characters that was significantly nerfed that Naruto finishes off. I think that'll be great. It can't be one of the grunts. It can't be one of the henchmen.
I mean, you have to explain how Naruto right now in the manga has that kind of power for like later on post time skip, because if you are operating under the assumption that he's not training, he's in a dimension where time doesn't flow. So it is a fantasy series, so they could write shenanigans or there can be workarounds, I'm sure. But if he's just frozen there for all these years, he's not progressing. And if you're not progressing, you're going backwards. There's no such thing as being stagnant. So
I don't know. That's the thing.
I mean, but if he's stuck where time doesn't exist and he's not going backwards or forward, he's just stuck where
he's just stagnant.
No, I mean in terms of power progression, as people move forwards and you're in the same spot, that's essentially you going backwards from their perspective.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So there's no such thing as being stagnant in terms of like the power. You're either going forward or going backwards because everything is progressing. So the only explanation for him doing something against a big boss would be him training prior to going in there. So then it's like, so Naruto right now had power that exceeded like well into the post time skip meta. I don't know about that.
Well, no, I mean like it wouldn't necessarily be like one of the big bosses like at the peak of their game, hypothetically. Like, for example, remember when Jigen was only 10% and then they essentially had Kashin Koji finish him off? Or like back in the day when Danzo was like running around and just being like flailing around, of course Sasuke just absolutely destroyed him. I think that it should be like someone with clout that is of course significantly hindered, significantly weakened, that Naruto can finish off. Like I just don't really see him being like a grunt.
Does that get Naruto where he wants to go though? Like in terms of him,
where does he want to go? He's
well, let me rephrase the thing. Does that get Naruto where we want him to be in terms of him like having his moment and being really cool again? Him finishing off some like dead and dying dude. It's like Kakashi beating Kakazu. Kakazu was done. That was Naruto's kill.
I mean, Obito was kind of playing around, or it could be like Kakashi versus Obito. That even though Obito wanted Kakashi to actually hit him with a Chidori, that's still one of Kakashi's most legendary fight scenes.
But that was a emotional thing between two characters with history.
I can agree with that.
You wouldn't be able to track it back to like Naruto, who's packed up for like years and years. So like, why would he be the one to get that kill? Why would he be relevant for that kill? But that's why I say like lieutenants or grunts, right? Maybe not the Aizen, but maybe the Geen.
Bro, he
or,
does not. He don't know Bleach references, bro.
Oh, okay. Maybe not the Frieza, but Naruto can beat the Captain Ginyu, right? Something like that.
Right.
A powerful opponent, but not
Alright.
the main dude.
Yeah.
So he can get some shine. But yeah.
All right, yeah, I could rock with that. I could rock with that. As long as it's not like Guldo or something like that. I forgot his name, but
The little green dude.
Yeah,
Dildo, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
Dildo. What the fuck?
that's what they call it.
This
Dildo.
guy's crazy, bro.
I know.
But Dildo was pretty powerful though.
I mean,
All right, I was about to say Cybermen too, but they were kind of powerful at the time too.
it
But
is though.
That bro hold his breath and stop time, bro. That's busted.
yeah, that's
He
OP.
probably pack up a lot of people in Naruto. Just not even probably, bro. But yeah.
Actually,